Hello everyone, welcome to the live. My name's Mike and you're watching the Lone Wrench Garage. What are your plans for this weekend? Got a couple of events we're going to go to this weekend. One of them is going to be the Route 66 Festival in Springfield, Missouri. It runs on Friday and Saturday. I believe it starts at 10 a.m. and runs to about 11 p.m. I normally start my chats at about 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. But today I didn't have much going on, so I thought I'd start it a little early. As you can see behind me, I'm in the shop and there's pretty much a mess everywhere in the shop. And that's going to have to be addressed before the next project gets started. So I'm trying to do a little tool organizing. And I've got a bunch of them where I picked up and put in a bucket. I'm going to go get a couple of the buckets and welcome to the channel. What's your plans this weekend? Hello. Had to get more tools to sort. I've thrown them all in buckets to pick them up. Got quite a mess. It's not one of the fun jobs of in the shop is having to clean up after yourself, and I'm notorious for putting things down where I get done with them and never putting them up. And then you ended up with messes. Now, this is just part of the mess. If I've got a drawer out on the toolbox, stuff gets put on it like a shelf. So I'm gonna have to correct that problem. How are you guys today? Do you have big plans for the weekend? If you do, let's hear about them. I'm planning on going to the Route 66 Festival this weekend in Springfield. Runs on Friday and Saturday. I believe it's 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Supposed to have car show, parade, a lot of different events, food trucks. They've had it for several years. I've never been to it, so this will be the first year for me. I guess they shut down the street for a mile long in Springfield. Runs through downtown by the shrine. I'm not sure the exact route and how far, but they call it the mile, so for the parade. So anyway, I think it's going to be a good time. Be a lot of cool cars, a lot of neat stuff to do. They're having bands. Bands, food, and beer, I'm imagining. So, not that I really want to plan on doing much of the drinking part, but I still will go. Maybe they'll have a shaved ice truck. I would like them. Hey, Brandon. Oh, that's cool, Brandon. We all have our own opinion. Well, it took me many years to get this shop, so thank you. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Waffles. Can I drink a bottle of water? I can. I don't have none with me right now. Hey, G5. Where's everybody from? I am from the USA, state of Missouri. Where are you all from? Do you all have plans this weekend? Well, welcome, Scotland. Glad you're here. And what do I win if I drink water? Waffle. So what's going on in Scotland? Anything? Trying to read the comments and keep up with everybody. Well, what's fun in that, Waffles? At this point, I have no idea how much money I got invested in the shop. I had the structure built after my garage fire prior to that, and I believe that was about 40 grand or better. And then I done a lot of improvements by insulating it, finishing the inside, wiring it, putting heat in it. A lot of freaking money. It's like everything else anymore. Everything is expensive. You can't get something for nothing. Even the next building I got next to it wasn't cheap, and I built it myself. Hi, Madison. Welcome. I thought I'd sneak in a little bit before 4 today. I was killing some time sorting tools. I have a problem of when I get finished with something, laying it down. I don't make anything out of it. This is not a functioning workshop. It is a kind of a hobby shop that I use, that I have plenty of crap to work on and just piddle around in it. It's taken me years to get this, so it's not like something you get overnight. I lost most of my tools and equipment when I had my garage fire. I still have some old Snap-on tools. And that's what happens when you have a Snap-on tool that goes through a fire. Burns all the chrome off of it, tarnishes it. I'm sure it took a little bit of the temper out. I was lucky to salvage a set of wrenches and a set of sockets out of the fire, and that was it. The rest of it was pretty much burnt to the ground. I lost 3 cars in the deal and a side-by-side. And one of the cars didn't even belong to me. You got big plans this weekend, Madison? It's been several years ago now, so I don't have a very good track record with fires. I've lost a shop and I've lost a truck from another fire, so. I was telling them earlier before you showed up, we were planning on going to the Route 66 Festival in Springfield this weekend. It's a 2-day thing. They've had it for several years. A lot of automotive, motorcycle stuff, bands stuff. Not that I'm really into the bands and the drinking part of it, but I do like going and looking at the cars and the bikes. Be the first year I've ever went. It's usually, they have it in August every year, and it's usually hot, hot, hot. This year's not going to be as bad, hopefully. You guys are at the shop a lot, I know. Home away from home, I guess, right? I'm going to try to pronounce your name here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get it right. Abahine? Is that right? Tell me if I'm right or wrong. I'm currently in my shop and just trying to sort some stuff out. I've got several projects, and I got rid of my pain in the butt yesterday and hauled it away. So the next project's going to be working on the van. I'll give you guys an extreme shop tour. Hang on. Let me turn you around. All right. One of the projects I'm going to start on once I get a couple of them done. It's supposed to have a bad head gasket. The car is pretty much 98% rust free. It's got a V6 in it, nothing special. But my goal is to make it a burnout car. This is the working bay. My old dump truck. I redid the dash on. I've got to get it put back together. A lot of my stuff is in work in progress. Then we have the A-Team van. It's a 1990 Chevrolet with a 5.7 in it. I will be taking that to the No Name Nationals. As you can see, it even has the A-Team van plate on it. And if any of you don't know what the A-Team is, Google 1980s TV show, the A-Team. I have a new set of tracks there for the skid, or for the excavator. I have a little hydraulic issue here with the skid steer. Kubota, which there's nothing wrong with it. It's one of the few things I have. This here's the excavator. It needs a little love. The tracks are wore out on it. I'm getting rid of the old steel tracks. It's seen a little bit of wear and tear. I busted the back glass out of it last year. I'm going to get that replaced. I've got the hydraulic ram off the thumb right now. One of the ends broke off of it. So I've got that into machine shop getting a piece milled for it because I don't have the equipment to do it. Once that comes in, we're going to put the tracks on it, put the cylinder back on it. And those of you who are old school, this is a Terramite. These things used to be really popular back in the 70s and 80s. All the rental supply companies, this is what they would rent out. This was prior to the small Korean tractors with the backhoes and stuff. It just got a small lawnmower motor on it, all hydraulic driven. It does pretty good for what it is. I mean, it's light, but it will dig a trench. That's my other shop up there. It's just I call it a shed. And then the side by side. And this is the second section of the shop. I have plenty of van seats to go in the A-Team. I have one there, there. This is what I'm planning on putting in it. These are leather seats. That will be the next project. I bought a set of Cadillac electric seats, but I have to figure out how to rewire them. But the rest of the stuff in here is pretty much just crap, unorganized crap. So one of these days, which will probably be the winter, we will get her cleaned up. So that's your extreme shop tour. Let me get caught up on the comments. Yes, the green one is a Mustang. No, it's not a 1969. It's a 1999. It's actually a 35th anniversary. No, I'm sure your girls love being at the shop, hanging out with Grandpa and Dad. A lot of interesting things there to play with. I don't know anything about a Toyota Tundra. I know what they are. I've never driven one, never ridden in one, so I really don't have much of an opinion on it. Well, hello, Jamie. How are you? I don't know what you're trying to say, Waffle Z. Yes, I understand all about that talk text. It does not work. Types imaginary words in. Well, it was a nickel tour. Wasn't worth much, but anyway. You guys do it, so I thought that it might be interesting for some. But as you can see, I have a lot of junk to work on to keep me busy. Here lately, YouTube's been keeping me busy, but one of these days I'm going to have to work on stuff. But like I say, I've got to pick up tools before I get much of anything done. I was going to run bore scope in the cylinders on the Mustang here, but I don't have a clue where it's at. I used it a couple months ago, and now it's MIA. So hopefully I'll find it, because I'm going to see what the inside of them cylinders look like on the motor. Which company makes the best mid-range cars? That's a pretty hard question. Hello, Stephen. How are you? Mid-range cars. Boy, I don't know. I haven't had very good luck with Fords here lately. So I'm not going to say any Ford. I did break down and buy a Toyota. We'll see how that works. They're supposed to be one of the good ones that'll run 300,000 miles. But we're going to see. I do like a Ram's truck, but that's not a mid-range car, so. I've had pretty much about every make and model of car or not make and model, but every make of car, except for foreign. Too many foreign ones. I'm not much into the Mercedes or the Volvos or anything like that. How's Brian today? I mainly try to stick with American made, I guess you could say. Nothing's really American made anymore. I think Toyota's pretty popular everywhere. Yeah, I've always wanted to get a Toyota Tacoma, but good gosh, they're as expensive as a full size truck. I don't know what you mean, King. Yeah, I'd like to have 4Runner too. Problem is, I don't want the payments, nor do I want to spend that kind of money. Yeah, tell me about it. 70 grand. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yeah. Hey, Rustin, how are you? What you guys' big plans? Madison already told me her big plans. Yeah. Yeah, the days of the $500 or $1,000 cars are well over. Well, that's good, King. I wouldn't know for sure. No, the Toyota I bought was a Toyota Corolla Cross. I think they've only been out a few years. So far, it's been all right. The crazy, whatever you want to call it, information radio screen, it kind of jacked up because it always wants to link to your phone whether you want it to or not. And you can't turn your Bluetooth off on your phone when you're in the car. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably a pretty good deal though for the Silverado. I think when I lost my F-250 to a fire, uh, I ended up replacing it with that was 2016. I ended up replacing it with a 2022 Ram, 2500 Ram. Cheaper model. It's got the Hemi in it, but it'd run circles around that Ford. So 68,000, yeah. This one, blue oval, yeah. I understand. The last two blue ovals I had, one of them burnt to the ground because of a plastic gas line, and the other one was a F-150 that had an EcoBoost that the timing chains went out and cost 10 grand to get fixed. I am done with them. Knock on wood, the Ram's been pretty good. I think it only had 16,000 when I bought it, but it costs a little more than 30 grand. So, but anyway, I figured for what the insurance company paid me for the Ford and a couple grand more, I upgraded 6 years and got less miles. So that's a win in my eyes. The blue oval disease. I call it a PIA. Oh, well, have fun. I would say stay dry, but you probably don't want to stay dry. So enjoy. Thanks for stopping in, Brian. My days of boats are probably way over. What band? I don't know. Um, Boy, that's a good question, Cran, and welcome to the chat. Let me think about that for a minute. They're probably not in existence anymore. I would probably like probably Leonard Skinner. They're no longer around, I don't think. CCR or the Rolling Stones might be kind of cool. Willie Nelson. Okay. Not a real huge fan, but you know, we all have our own taste. He's a he's a different cat. And why, just out of curiosity, why would you want to have a beer with Willie Nelson? I've never seen him live. Yeah, there's, you know, kind of the era that I grew up in. It's kind of what I like. And I used to be into the bikes and stuff, so that was a lot of bike ride music and stuff. Mater, how are you? Hey, that's a good plan. I like that. That's a good plan. Orange jumpsuits, bad. Well, that's a good reason, I think. Yeah. Well, I'd say he's probably a pretty cool dude to, if you get him away from everybody, to sit down and shoot the bull with. And I plan on going to the Route 66 Festival this weekend in Southwest Missouri. They're having a two day event with car shows, parades. Unfortunately, no burnout contests for racing, but anyway, it'll be a first year for me to go. So, hello, Sam. What would you do if you woke up and Jesus was inside you? Um, Probably be freak out. Be honest. What's up? I can't pronounce your name. SU. Have a good day ahead, huh? Well, you have a good day too. Yep. Yeah, it's a big thing. A lot of history here on the around Springfield, Missouri. It actually is Springfield is where Wild Bill Hickok actually got in his one and only shootout downtown over a poker game. Not over the stories you heard at Deadwood. I don't think he ever made a shot in Deadwood. He was shot in the back, so there. A lot of 1930s gangster history, a lot of Route 66 history. Unfortunately, a lot of it is no longer around. I am about 4 hours from Sikeston. So, are you going to the No Name Nationals, Mater? Yeah, if the roads were straight, it'd probably be 2.5 to 3 hours, but being nothing around here in the Ozarks is a straight road. Get around Sykes and it's pretty flat and level. Hey RX, how are you? Where are you from, RX? Yeah, well, that stinks. I guess I missed it. I don't. What happened to your hand? I paid two, and that's why I'm trying to get my 500 so I can run the van down the strip. Hello, Efren. Welcome. If I get it, fine. If I don't, that's fine too. I'm just going to go and have a good time. And Lars was on here yesterday, and he said pretty much everybody camps out. There's showers on site, so you don't have to pay for that. So and they stay in a tent. So I would say if you can afford the gas and the food, it'd be a good time. But I understand the money thing. Also sucks about you losing your job. I tell you what, employers are they are not the same as they used to be back in the good days. Used to, employers rewarded good employees. And now it's all the bottom line about the almighty dollar. They don't care if you've got experience or loyalty or reliability. Pretty much if you're breathing, they'll hire anybody. I took early retirement myself. I was able to with the job that I had. And I retired at 55 and really haven't looked back. But I couldn't have done that without the support of my family, so. My wife's still working for a couple more years before she calls it done, so. Kind of working until I hit the ripe old age of 65. No, they're not lazy, they're smart. They planned ahead. Well, that's good, but if you got hurt on the job, they really can't fire you. I don't know if you did or not, but that would be a workman's comp issue. I know a lot of employers don't think that way, but there are laws to protect employees. Barbie, how are you? Oh, well, it stinks you hurt your hand, but unfortunately, life is that way sometimes. That's good to hear, Barbie. You got big plans for the weekend? I went to your live the other day, Barbie. You guys are just off the hook in there. Have you posted the video yet? Or are you able to? I know, Barbie, you're from the Philippines. I remember asking you that on your live the other day. You guys were rocking it out. Or is the video something that YouTube would frown on? Heaven forbid there's a little blood in it, Dave. Oh, it's on your channel? I'll go check it out. I try to keep up with everybody that subscribes to me. It's a hard job sometimes, trying to do live and support everybody else's, but you know what? We have to support each other. That's part of it. It is definitely part of it. I appreciate everybody that subscribes to me, and I try to subscribe to everyone that subscribes to me. So let's see what time it is. Yeah, I came on a little earlier than I had planned on. I normally come on at 4 Central Standard Time. And I'm just kind of taking it easy today and sorting some tools. And I thought, well, I'm sitting here, I might as well start the live and let her go. Maybe pick up some new people along the way. Ha! Ha! That's funny. What'd he say about that? I'm sure he was like, oh no. He does have a freaking long beard. More power to him. I can't stand it. I mean, no more facial hair than I've got. It gets a little bit long. I'm shaving it off. Same way with long hair. I used to have long hair when I was young. My hair really didn't grow long. It kind of bushed out. And in the job that I had, it was in your best interest to have short hair. So I've kind of wore it that way probably for the last 25, 30 years. If you can, go for it. I don't know. I'm not very tech savvy. But yeah, you could probably maybe share the link in it. We'll see if it works. I guess the worst thing you can do is boot you out of the room, but I doubt if it will. I'm still trying to figure out how to schedule a live. Every time I schedule it, people show up, and then I can't get into the stinking thing. So I've got to work on that and work on doing the lives from my laptop, because about 50% of the time my phone ends up overheating and shuts down. And that's not good. That's why if I'm out in the sun, it pretty much shuts down within a matter of a few minutes. So that's why I try to do it either in the shade or under roof somewhere. There you go. It showed up in blue, so. Hi, Jane. What are we talking about? We're trying to find out what everybody's doing this weekend. So far, staying out of orange jumpsuits has been the best one. I don't sing hello. My phone, when it tends to overheat and then it shuts down. Kind of like me. I get hot, I shut down too. No, hello, I cannot try. But thanks for asking. Yeah. Well, my phone's pretty old. I'm sure the battery's probably not as good as it used to be. Again, that goes back to being a tight rod. That I don't want to have to spring for another phone. Thank you, Mater. Oh, hang on, Madison. Now you're blue. I thought you already were blue, but yeah, I know. They have nothing better to do. I gotta walk the car engine. I don't understand what that means. Babysit for your sister. Okay. Babysit a two-legged or four-legged? Well, that's not very nice, George. Yo, I gotta walk the plane. Okay. Don't know what that means. Yes, your sister had eye surgery. Yeah, I understood that. I didn't know who you were babysitting. Well, thank you, Claire. I guess. Jane, you missed the Extreme Shop tour. Madison got the nickel show. I think she wants some change back in it. Well, thank you. Yeah. I'm glad you think it was, but that's all cool. Hi, Dev. Or Dim. I am going to the Route 66 Festival. It's a thing they have here in August every year. It's the first year I'll be ever went to it because it's usually shooting around 100 degrees every time they have it, and it's on the street, so therefore it's going to be good and hot. So I guess they closed down about a mile of the city street and just bikes, cars, just like a kind of a free for all. I mean, it's organized and stuff, but it's a pretty big deal, I guess. I'm having a great day. Thank you for asking. Hi, Kellen. I might do a little bit, but again, there I'm going to be outside, so I don't know how long the phone will go. But yeah, I'll probably do it. I'm planning on going in the afternoon sometime. The car show runs from 12 to 4, and then they're having a parade at 6 o'clock. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay that long to do the parade. I thought the parade would be mighty cool, but I might do a couple short lives or something. I don't know. I think we all do anymore since the virus. I think everybody does. I guess I could hide the phone under my shirt, but then you wouldn't see anything. But hey, we all got to have a hobby, right? You're only as old as you feel. Oh, did I? I didn't know you had one. I'm going to have to go check out your channel a little bit more and make sure that I've got notifications set on you. I have days I feel that too. Yesterday, I felt like somebody had run over me with a truck. But anyway, today's a better day. JB, how are you, buddy? Getting ready for the no name? Homemade pickles kind of sound good. I would like to have a garden, therefore, I plan on it. I'm not sure how I'm going yet, but being the motorhome is in the repair shop, I'm probably going to scratch that and just drive the van, and I'll probably sleep in the van. I'm going to have to get me a little generator because I got to have some AC when I sleep. We don't do religion in this channel, Spokey. No religion, no politics. Everybody has their own opinion and they get their panties in a bunch if you don't agree with them. Wow. Well, sorry you had migraines. I've never had one. I heard they're pretty debilitating, so. I've known several people that I've worked with that had migraines. There you go, JB. Yeah, I'm just hoping I can get my 500 so I can run the A-Team van down it. I don't expect to break any land speed records though. I'm gonna call it a win if I go from start to the finish of it without tearing something up. I'm sure stress has something to do with migraines. Just guessing. Now, is that the trash truck? Is that the one you're talking about? A Scooby Mobile? No, it's not. I'll take you out and let you look at my junk. Madison, you have to bear with us. JB hasn't seen all the junk either, so. Phone's getting hot, so hopefully it won't shut off. So if it ends, it'll be because the phone shut down over overheat. The junk shop. This is the extreme tour here. Everything's a organized, disorganized mess. There's the seats that's going in the van right there. Leather seats that I got out of another van. I have more van seats. If anybody needs van seats, I'm your guy. The old dump truck. I had to take the dash completely out of it. It was cracked and crumbling. Typical 1990s Chevy. But anyway, I gotta get it all put back together and get it up for sale. And this is the infamous A-Team van. I call it my 50/50 van. It is not a GMC. It is a tribute van for the 1980s TV show. Nothing special about it, just a van. I call it my 50/50. It looks good at 50 feet away at 50 miles an hour. This is the one that Josh Buffington did on Buff's Garage. He painted it, and I bought it from him. Painted it with high dollar tractor paint. Includes runs and blemishes. But anyway, it's got a motor. It's only got 15,000 miles on it, so it's a one-owner van. The whole van only has 76,000 on it, but you look underneath it, it looks like it's got 376,000 from the rust. Came from Minnesota. Skid steer currently needs repaired. Kubota does not, and one of the only things that doesn't need repaired. Oh, that's a set of new tracks I just bought for this. And I was telling them earlier that she runs, but I broke the end off hydraulic cylinder last time I used it. And I've got it off, and it's at the machine shop. And they're putting a new end on the cylinder. I took it up to a hydraulic shop, and they wanted to sell me a whole new cylinder for $2 grand, and I said, no. But anyway, we're going to take the old metal and rubber tracks off, because they're all stretched out, and put the new rubber tracks on. Then I'm going to repair the back glass with some plexiglass, because they want way too much money for the real glass. As you can see, the whole place, my brush hog is tore up, so therefore I have 3-foot tall grass. Then I have the old termite that I bought prior to the excavator. It done pretty good for what I needed it to do. But with the rock around here, it just kind of pulled it around. It didn't have a lot of weight. But there's no shortage of stuff to do around here. Just a shortage of motivation. So once I get that done, that dump truck, I've got several piles of dirt to mow down, and I'm going to put it back down on my pond to raise the dam level up so I can get more water in it. They're not huge ponds, but most of the ponds around here are not very big. I don't know if you can see it from here, but that's one of my ponds right there. When I first bought the property, the pond was about, on a good day, 12 inches deep from all the silt. And I had a guy come in with a bulldozer and clear it all out. We dug it out to about 12 feet. So I'm sure it's probably about 6 feet now. But anyway, we'll get to working on it one of these days. Oh, and Jane, I was going to tell you, you asked about the Ozarks, the mountains. You was expecting larger mountains. And I was told once before, the Ozark Mountains are one of the oldest mountain ranges in the United States, just behind the Black Hills of South Dakota. And the mountains were caused from erosion and basically we drive down into our mountains, I guess you could say. Hey, Carlos. Yes. Toys, toys. Most of them are a waste of money. My goal was when I retired, I thought, well, I'm going to start me a little small excavation. I don't know if you really call it high. I think I'm like 980 feet above sea level. I don't think that's really high, but most of the places, I'm on kind of on the northern end. There's a lot more bigger hills if you go a little south and east. But I'll do some lives at some of the overlooks and maybe the lakes and stuff, and have a little background. Welcome to the live, Carlos. How's your day going? Like this thing's crooked to me. I don't know about you guys. Oop, that didn't work. The reason the roads are so curvy around here, they run on ridges. They don't really go up and they kind of go around. That's why they're not, they just kind of follow the mountain range, I guess you could say. But that's how they made Table Rock Lake, I guess, years ago, way before I was born. They basically, it was about bottomland, and there was towns and everything else in it, and they just dammed it up. They bought out all the people that in the towns and the valleys and dammed it up and flooded it. And now you have Table Rock Lake. Ugh. I don't like that time in the AM at all. So you don't know how your day is, so yet you're not awake enough to know. But that is just my tidbit of information on the Ozarks. I'd heard that, and I looked it up on the internet, and whether or not that information is correct, I couldn't tell you. I think they said they're between, what was it, 399 to 485 million years old or something like that. But I think that's why we don't have the big super tall mountains, because of all the many years of erosions. If I wasn't right here, because I'm kind of on a level area and a lot of trees, but there's places I can get and you can see mountains for probably 20 miles or maybe more. I don't know. I'll try to get some footage, and one of these days I'm going to start, while the weather's still nice, I'm going to start going to some different areas and doing lives and kind of letting you guys see the background. And instead of doing the extreme shop tour, I'll show you the extreme scenery. How's that? There's a lot of places in the United States that have beautiful areas. I just happened to get lucky and moved to one. I didn't move here because it was the Ozarks. I moved here for employment. Then after 3 years, the employment didn't pan out the way I thought it was going to. But we liked the area and we stayed. So. Where did I live before? About 60 miles due east of St. Louis, Missouri, in the godforsaken state of Illinois. The way that places went to the dogs, I would never move back. But that's my opinion. I'm sure there's a lot of people in Illinois still love it there. But I moved here in Missouri. There's a lot less government, which I like. There's still plenty, but hey, Lotus, how are you? Welcome. Thanks for coming in. I'm thinking very seriously about becoming a snowbird here in the next couple years. And I'm thinking of either Texas or, gotta remember the town in Arizona. Supposed to be the sunniest city in the nation. I'll come up with it here in a minute. Having a senior moment. No, probably not Florida. Everybody moves to Florida. Arizona would be good because it's, they call it the dry heat, which would be okay. I know Arizona's hot, but you know what? You can watch dirt track racing in the winter there. Hi, Michael. How are you? I've been to Florida a few times. It's not a bad state. I actually went many years ago with a buddy I worked with. Went down to Daytona Beach. Drove a Corvette. It was a miserable trip to drive. I can't remember what it was, 17 hours in a Corvette with no air conditioning. Miserable. Always thought I'd want a vet. Now, probably not. Yes, you can do stuff in Florida. I agree. Hi, Jamie. Welcome back. Thanks for coming in. Unfortunately, Florida's just so touristy. That's coming from a guy that lives in a tourist area. No, I wouldn't give you a nickel for a new vet. The year I like is 1978 to 1980 with the rounded back glass. That's the ones I like. I just about bought a silver anniversary one years ago when I was probably 22, 23. I was just a little worried about it. Hello, Classic. How are you? Yep, I kind of regret the Corvette and a 67 fastback Mustang that I passed on. I think I was 18 and it had a bad brake, and back then I didn't know how to work on anything. I still don't know how to work on a lot, but I still do. Sometimes it breaks and sometimes we we get it fixed. I'm probably about 60%. Cold. Well, you guys have different seasons than we do. How cold is it? Where's Jamie from? I forgot. You probably told me yesterday, but I forgot. I don't know what the temperature is here. I'm going to say it's probably about that same, mid 80s. England, well, welcome. Across the pond. So if I'd visit Australia, I need to leave in our winter to come to your summer. I'll have to keep that one, remember. I don't do cold weather. Cold is a bad four-letter word to me. If it's below 60, I don't like it. Perfect temperature is about 76 with a light breeze and sunny. It's not winter in England, is it? Oh, yeah. I wouldn't go to Minnesota unless it was in the summer. You couldn't get me up there. 15. That's not super cold. It's not warm, but it's not super cold. Well, that's the only good thing about cold weather. No mosquitoes. We have mosquitoes, but they're not too plentiful. Yeah, Minnesota's where the van came, and it was owned by a city of Virginia, Minnesota, and that's why it has a lot of rust underneath it. That's why it took me over 2 days to do the rear brakes on it. A lot of skeeters in North Carolina, Madison. Where are you located at, Lotus? I'm sure I've heard, but I don't remember. We have horse flies. I don't know if you guys are familiar. I'm sure there's a proper term for them. We call them horse flies because they're look like a common house fly, but they're huge and they're ignorant. They buzz you. Hey, G1. Mosquitoes and flies, that's what a lot of. Okay. Shoo, yeah, I agree, Carlos. Okay. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, they bite, they leave a whelp. You get bit from them. Well, thanks for stopping in, Jamie. I appreciate it. Horse deer flies, yeah. Gnats are I can't stand running through a swarm of them things. And honestly, I don't understand what good are they. I'm guessing there's a purpose for flies and gnats, but I don't know what they are. So. I'll have to check the dog out on the channel. They're food for spiders. Okay. Well, that makes sense. But then, there again, what good are spiders? You know, we're all on the food chain, I guess. We have our predators too. Our predators are pretty much other humans, so. I could too. Yeah, they need to work some overtime, don't they, Jane? All of my dogs have pretty much been mixed breeds of some sort or another. Ugh. Well, there'd be one cure for a tarantula. I won't say what it is, but that'd be my opinion. Okay. Well, I'm sure they have their purpose. I'm not rotten yet, so they need to leave me the heck alone. We have coyotes and stuff here. They eat rotten stuff too. Them and buzzards and vultures. We have turkey vultures are just all over the place here. Well, Jane, he's a kinder and gentler soul than I would have been probably. Now we've actually had a baby possum come in the house through the doggy door before. That was kind of freaky. The dogs went absolutely insane. But I got him out and tossed him over the fence. He never came back, so that's a good thing. I've had groundhogs get in the dog's fence. That didn't go over very well. Dog got in a fight and he kind of lost, but he had it cornered. And then our dogs have brought in baby bunnies, baby squirrels. Hi, Picka. Going good. How are you? No, I haven't heard about the black bear. I only have two animals that are mine, and they're two dogs. We have a couple friendly deer that roam the property that I think they know they're in a safe zone because I'll never shoot them, but I know the neighbors would. Checking out a skunk. Ugh. It's good to hear, Pitka. I'm guessing I'm pronouncing your name right. I'm trying. Hey, Prime. Cheese fries are good. I'm going to have leftovers. I don't need no more dogs. We were up to 5 at one time. And we have a special need dog, so I don't need any more. Cause Peekaboo is the way you pronounce it. Okay, Peekaboo. Well, welcome. I am in Southwest Missouri. USA. You already knew that probably. Well, around our area, probably my favorite is McDonald's. Can't say that about all their food, but I think they probably, as fast food restaurants, have the best when they're cooked crispy. The second best would be Wendy's. So what's Daryl doing this weekend? You got big plans? I started sorting tools because I have a problem with not putting stuff back when I get done using it and just throwing it down. I'll probably come to the live. Um, I have a hard time keeping up with all the live stream when a lot of you guys, hell, I have a hard time keeping up with live stream on Never Done Projects. I mean, it's really been busy in there the last few nights. I understand how Pops feels. Us old farts, we read slower and we don't process it near as quick as the young guys. Arby's, curly fries, yeah. Checkers, Rallies, Dairy Queen. I haven't been to Dairy Queen in years. Chick-fil-A fries, they're good, yes. We do have a Chick-fil-A fairly close. And they do have good waffle fries. There's not a lot of good restaurants with good food, period. And if you live in the area I do, I don't know how you guys are, but the closest town that actually has fast food restaurants, it's the same service workers that go from place to place to place. And let's just say quality is not in their vocabulary. Now, if you go 30 miles north, go to the same restaurant, night and day between the food. Clancy's, is that a local thing or regional thing? Okay, yeah, because I never heard of that, but, you know, I live a pretty sheltered life anymore. We don't have very many good local mom and pop restaurants. We've got one down the road that does some home cooking. It's pretty good. It's called the Wagon Wheel. I don't know of any aunt and uncle restaurants. So, yes. Yeah. So, Carlos, what if you call fries chips? What do you call potato chips? Annie Ann's pretzels. I like their pretzels. I've had them a few times. It's not my real go-to. I have to be in the mood for them, but They're pretty good. I like them plain or with cheese, either or. You don't see too many of them anymore in the malls. About it. Well, thanks, Justin. Yeah, peekaboo, that is good. Okay. So it's chips or chips. So, okay. I didn't know if you had a different word for them too or not, but, sometimes there's a cultural breakdown in between different countries and stuff. We call something one thing, you guys call something else, and it's like that all over the world, I'm sure. I'm sure there's stuff that we call certain food here that Jane and Madison and Daryl would call it something totally different. But I know that they brought up the thing about soda and pop. I call it soda. Other people call it pop. But personally, I just call it Pepsi. I don't drink it near what I used to. Oh, it is, huh? To be clear, it's called pop. Okay. I guess if I ever make it to Ohio, I'll have to ask for pop. And speaking of Ohio, I came through there a couple years ago, and good gosh, Interstate 70 is horrendous. I don't think they ever fixed it, but I remember coming across the Indiana-Ohio line and about lost a tire. There were so many big holes and bumps. Soda here too, Madison. The state of Missouri in the United States. I was driving a U-Haul truck pulling the trailer from the lady we bought the house from. She was widowed and she was going to move back to Vermont. So I volunteered to get her stuff loaded and take her back to Vermont. It was a 3-day drive in a U-Haul. At least this U-Haul didn't break down. About every time I ever rented one, they broke down on me. Car toter, wheel flew off of it in St. Louis. Fish and chips sounds good right now. We don't have anywhere close around here that does good fish, so. What I call good fish and what you guys may be two different things. I kind of like Long John Silver's, but there's none of them around here. Probably does because I haven't had any in a long time. But tonight's going to be leftover charbroiled pork chops, mashed potatoes, corn, and a homemade cinnamon roll. All compliments of Lambert's Cafe. I've heard that about Captain D's. You trot away from there. Hi, TJ. I am about 4 hours west of Sikeston, Missouri. I'm going to guess it's roughly about 220 miles, but there's no straight road to get there, so. No, peekaboo, I was not raised in Missouri. I was raised in Illinois, and I moved to Missouri when I was 39 and have been there ever since. I probably wouldn't like fish either if I had to work in a fish market. We used to have a good barbecue joint down the road that had some really killer fried catfish. Been a long time since I've had a Chicago pizza. I would like to actually someday go back to Chicago and actually eat one from Chicago. Don't shout out to Illinois too much. Last time I was in Chicago, I got to park my vehicle on the sidewalk at Wrigley Field. It wasn't long before the police showed up, but the guy I was with, he worked it out. They let us stay. See you, Carlo. I hope you have a good day. That's one thing I do that is on my bucket list. I want to watch a ball game at Wrigley Field. Not that I'm a Cub fan. I'm not really a fan. Well, I think Wrigley's the one that had the freaking money to have it built. I probably watched the history of it. I'm sure on a YouTube channel. But it is kind of cool. Most of the houses that are across the street are apartment buildings. They actually have bleachers on top of the buildings because Wrigley Field's not a big venue. It's a pretty small field. And you can actually look from the buildings across the street down into it. I thought that was just kind of bizarre because I guess getting tickets for a game in the stadium is really tough. Kind of like getting tickets for the Bristol race, night race. We stopped at Bristol on the bikes one time, and I inquired about getting some tickets. She just kind of looked at me and grinned. She said there was like a 2-year wait to even be considered to get a ticket. But it wasn't that important to me. Be cool to go, but I can live without it. It was neat to go on their free tour, though. I didn't realize they had a drag strip right next to the NASCAR track. They took us down on the track in the van that they was giving a tour in and gave us free reign of the track. We could walk up it. I couldn't believe how steep it was. You can get to the top of the apron on the track, and you can't physically stand there without hanging on to the guardrail. It's got that much bank to it. I don't know what the degree is, but it's pretty tough. It was tough to walk up it. Definitely a lot smaller than Daytona's track by far. So Peekaboo, what's your plans for the weekend? Does the chat freeze up on you guys' end? I think that's what it's doing to me. The video's still working, I know that, but these freaking chiggers are killing me. Okay. Well, I didn't know if it froze up or not, so. My phone is not the most modern one, so. It says we got 6 in here. Maybe. They may have left to get ready for Randy's stuff. I've been on here for 93 minutes now, so. Okay. Well, thanks for still staying with us, Madison. I appreciate it. I'm probably going to wrap this up anyway. It's getting close to 5, and Never Done Projects is going to be on, and I don't want to interfere with hers, so. Hello, Ellis. How are you? Where are you from? I'm good. I'm good. Sweden. Well, welcome. Most of us in here are from the United States, but we welcome everybody. Well, guys, I know most of you have already subscribed to me, but if you haven't, please do. I'd appreciate it. I want to thank everybody for coming and being active in the chat. I kind of helps me give hope that there's more to come. So thank you all, and I'll catch you tomorrow probably. Hopefully it'll be at the rally. So have a good day. See ya.